All right. Okay, that's so much better. I'm back. Sorry for the confusion and everything like that. So, um, anywho, so if you have any questions or anything like that, I am on. We are currently on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, so I can see all the comments on here as well as everyone else. Just keep the comments friendly, kind, follow, and everything like that. You will get blocked and deleted if not. I've already had to get off of here and delete a couple comments because they were not so kind. I don't understand why people have to get on other people's social media to threaten or want to cause drama. But anyway, standard budget. I would say that I've seen a lot of RVers standard budget go anywhere from 2,500 a month to 4,000 a month. I would say that's a pretty good median of that. And I will say for sure. Hold on 1 second. Let's try this one more time. Okay, so I do see it on there, and so once you figure out where your budget is, and I apologize for the delays. Like I said, I'm trying out some new technology, so I am trying a way to go live on multiple platforms, so I don't have to be live individually. So, a couple of ways to get your budget and ideas. Basically, how you live now, and then you kind of downsize from there. Maybe you don't go out as much, you cook a little more from home. Enjoy, I will say RV life has us enjoying life more as far as like doing things. When I feel like when you're in a standard home, you are wanting to just be at home, which I understand. But being in the RV life gets us out and about. Like we've traveled, not a lot. We're semi stationary. We travel every 6 to 7 months. We work camp. We do those things. I'll get into that in a little bit. Um, hey, Crystal, how are you? How are you? Um, um, but I will say that having a budget in mind for the RV lifestyle that you want to have is definitely important to have. It's important to have for uh, a lifestyle that makes sense for you. You don't want to live above your means because you have just like with the house or well, not so much an apartment because you have maintenance for that, but just like with the vehicle, you're going to have maintenance. You're going to have things that you're going to have to repair on your RV. You're going to have uh, things that you set aside for emergencies. You're going to have things that you set aside for. Um, you're going to have things that you set aside for various things, medical. But it's still no different than standard RV life. It's really not. It's really no different than you having a budget for your sticks and bricks. You just have to be smart about how you have to just be smart about how you spend your money. RV life kind of helps you with that a little bit because you can't really go shopping if you like shoes, if you like purses, if you're a man and you like to collect tools or collect planes, like my husband likes to collect planes. You can't do that. You have to keep in mind that you really can't have a lot. Clothes get heavy because RVs have weight limits, so that also is something else to keep in mind. So it helps you with staying in a budget. It helps you staying in a specific shopping category per se. Like you have your needs, wants, and your must-haves, and your must-haves are in RV life as well. Like you have things you have to have for your RV life. You have to have a water hose. You have to have a sewer hose. You have to have propane. Those are must-haves. Those things cost money and they provide weight, extra weight on your RV. You have your needs, your everyday needs like groceries, toothpaste, food. Oh, I already said groceries. Um, you know, you have insurance that you have to pay. If you have a pet, even though a pet's really not a need for everybody. Sometimes a pet is a need for some people, but not for everybody. Then you have your wants. Like you might want to get the biggest TV screen that you see at Costco, but you can't get it because you don't have the space. Or you want to get that new bag that you saw at the mall, but it's like, do you really need it? It comes over like the whole spending and just keeping in mind, like, do you have the space for it? Because that's something else you have to really adjust. That goes back into adjusting for RV life. How do you adjust? You have to remember you have to live small. You don't have the same amount of space. You don't have the same amount of storage that you would in a traditional apartment or a house. Um, you have to get creative. So that's there's no standard budget though. Your budget is how you currently live, and then you just kind of downsize it. So, like for instance, if we're going on a vacation, which we are later on this year, we're going on a cruise, and we normally like to buy souvenirs and all this stuff. We have nowhere to put it, and we do have a storage unit. But why are we gonna buy something just to put in a storage unit? Only thing we might buy is maybe something that we can either a keychain, something that's light. Our refrigerator isn't magnetic, so we might buy stickers or something that we can still use for the magnet. Can the mag? Let's say I forgot what I was saying. I was listening to what he was saying, but we might buy like magnets or something small that won't take up too much space in the RV, but also to having something that is multi-purpose. That's very important too. So keep that in mind. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Um, and clothes. We might buy some shirts or something like that because you can never have too many clothes. Actually, we try to downsize. Every time we move, we get rid of stuff. Like if we have used it or haven't used it, like we have a washer and dryer now in our RV, and we don't have need them. We have we don't have the need for as many clothes as we used to have, which is a great thing. Thank you for the likes, appreciate it. We don't have the need for any of the amount of clothes that we used to have, so that's important for us to keep in mind. So another question that we had, if you have any questions, like I said, put them in the chat and I will definitely make sure that I get to them. How do you make money on the road? Well, let's see, we have a couple of different ways that we make money on the road. First one is we work camp, which is work camping is where you work in exchange for your site, which sites can run anywhere from on the low end to the high end, anywhere from like $400 up to $1,100, just depends. And usually some places include electric. Usually you have to maybe pay electric, but your water, all that stuff is already included. The amenities for the park or whatever. So like here where we at right now, our rent is $7.95 a month. We are not work camping, so that's an extra fee we have to add in our budget. And we also get this whole little fenced in area, and we do have to pay for electric. So that is the main thing right there. Another thing is I am also an Amazon influencer, so I review products that I actually use every day in life, and I post them on my Amazon or I promote them on my social media. Um, we are working on getting our YouTube channel up and running because we want to have our own business, and I'll get into that later on once we actually get closer to that goal because I don't want to go too much into it until it's actually a um, thing for us in the future. But that's the way we're going to work for ourselves, and I will say it's something that we've been talking about for years. Hi, adventurers. Thank you for joining me. I had to leave out of your live because I had to get ready for mine, but thank you for joining me. Um, so, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Instagram or TikTok watching this video, if you see me checking my phone, I have to actually look into those actual socials to check the chat. For some reason, the chats aren't coming through on here where I can see YouTube on here as well. Um, But so how we make money, that's another way we make money. I also right now, since we're not work camping, I am a full-time warehouse worker at Amazon, and I was trying to get there to be a shuttle driver. I have a CDL position, never came to fruition, but hey, it's 19 something an hour. It is physically demanding, but hey, we are out of here and we're going to a new spot, so for work camping. Another thing is I created a digital product that is for RVers or nomads, and I like it because I use this actually every day in my everyday life. This is like a budget sheet, and if you have a stylus, you can write on it. It's digital, so it doesn't take up any space. I'm actually in the process of, not sure if you can see, just getting ready to fill out our budget for the month of, I need to do a budget for the month of March, so I can do my budget video. I have two planners right now. I have just a travel planner, and then I have just and then I have a travel planner and journal. Excuse me. So it has journaling activities in here that you can do, and then I have a content creator planner, and then a travel journal. Those are all linked in my bios. If you want to support, I'm also looking for people that want to be affiliates. I have a program where it basically essentially allows me, you promote it, you'll get a designated link to set up your direct deposit for every sale that you make on the content. Right now it's just on the content creator planner and travel journal. You get $5 for every sale. So the more you promote it, the more you talk about it, the more potential and earnings you have. And it's just a digital product. People can print it out if they want to. I'm eventually going to have a printed version. I am just trying to look at my options. But it does have interactive tabs over here, so you can touch a tab and it will take you to whatever page. I'm touching this from there you go. So if I want to go to the budget, if I want to go to, I think that is the budget. It's hard to do it from this angle. So like if I want to get to a different section, so this is like a journaling activity, and you can swipe this way or that way, and these are the journaling activities, and then you can take your pen and you can write on it. I'm not sure if you can see, but I'm using Good Notes. It's like literally $12 for the year to use Good Notes, and then you have the digital copy to use for whatever. And there's actual um, a planning for like if you're traveling for like your campground. There's also like some roadmap suggestions, like some different road trips that you can take. If you know, these are just the popular ones, not like you have to take them. But there's also like a campground planner, so just information for you to keep. And so that's another way that we make money on the road. And you know, you have multiple streams of income. It's no different than living everyday life. It's just you got to be a little bit more flexible. It's good to see you too. Thank you for joining. Um, it's just something that you know you just have to come up with, and you could work for yourself. And like I said, this planner came for me is something that I wanted to create for people because I wanted a place to keep um, if I'm in my moments where I just because being out here on the road as an RVer is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. You have your moments. So I like to journal. So keeping you can have notebooks and like actual printed versions of journals. Not saying you can't. It's just that I know what I like to have, and having paperback of things I know makes the RV extra heavy. So I prefer to use the digital version. But like I said, when I get the printed version, that one actually I do better with tangible things. But I was keeping notes in my phone and keeping notes, just sporadically on notepads or just content ideas. Like if you do the content creator planner, um, and if we're doing traveling, like when I'm planning, like actually I need to start planning our trip when we go up to Michigan. I'm going to use this for all of our stops. I'm going to have this is the travel planner. I'm going to use in the travel. This sheet is actually in the content planner because I feel like I use I use the content planner more so than just the travel journal and planner because um, the content creation portion of it, I feel like it can help generate from the things I put in the journal. So if you want to a way for you to track your content or kind of helps keep you motivated, so being a content creator is also another way of making money on the road. So that's another thing. um, oh well, don't stop. Uh, I'm so sorry, Aaron. Hop in the trails. I'm responding on Instagram right now. Don't stop doing that. Keep trying. Have you made sure you have joined the commissions portion? And that's a whole different part than the affiliate. So you have two different. It's called on-site commissions. And if I need to do a video on how to do that, I wish I would have recorded when I went and did that, and I didn't. But is a way for you to unlock the on-site commissions, and I can go into more about that too. So that was a question on Instagram. Was well, not so much a question, it's just someone saying that they make sales. I haven't made a whole bunch of sales on Amazon, but I've made about $80 since January, and I don't post as much as I should. They say you should post between 10 and 20 times a week. With me working full time, 10-hour shifts, overnight, it's not easy. So I don't even really post that much throughout. Like I work Friday through Monday, so I really don't post a lot on the weekends. The like Tuesday through Thursday is my weekend. So that's why I'm live right now. I have to fit what's within my confines. But I have so many products that I can review and put on there, but I haven't, and it's not time consuming. It's just you have to get the motivation to do it. I have about 12 products right now that I actually do need to do little reviews on the things that I actually use, but I tend to just keep posting the same things that I continue to purchase, like or continue to use rather, because there's things that we continue to purchase as RVers, tank cleaners, black tank cleaners, and filters, all that stuff. But there's things that I love, i.e., my hammock. I post about this thing all the time. It's a two-in-one, so it is linked in my bio in my Amazon storefront. But I love it because this collapses down. It has a carry bag. This is the chair, but there's also a regular hammock. So these arms extend out and they open up and you can lay down. So I love it because you got to have different ways of sitting down. We have like 4 different types of chairs. There's actually a chair I need to review. It's a double hammock. I mean, not double hammock. It's a double camping chair recliner. Um, we actually sat outside watching a movie with that one day. or one night that I fell asleep, I posted on my TikTok about that. My husband decided to embarrass me, so of course I had to post a video. We have regular camping chairs. We have an inflatable, it's an inflatable couch where you basically have to fight with the wind to get it inflated, but it's actually kind of fun. I posted a video about that. So you those things I actually can put on Amazon. So those are ways that you can definitely make money on Amazon. It's really hard. You have a store link. Okay, so you have your store link, but okay, so when you have to log into your Amazon commission, you have to log into your Amazon site on your laptop, because that's the only way you're going to see your on-site commissions. You have to create 3 videos. You only get two attempts at this to create 3 videos to be accepted into the on-site. And when I got into the on-site, that's when my videos really took off. I posted about our RV, and I have sold about 150 of those on most of that video, because it's a stopper that they didn't even think about RVers using it. We don't have garbage disposals, and this stopper is amazing. It's like a 3-in-1. I consider it 2-in-1 because I don't use the other feature, which I can't remember what it is now because I don't use it. But it's literally, it catches everything, and all you do is push a button, and it's not like that typical old stopper where you have to pull it in and out. We literally just push it in, push it out. You can take the tray and take just the tray in and dump that and leave the actual stopper. I mean, it's so easy. And then you can leave the actual, like, so we're washing dishes. When we're draining the water, we can push the little stopper part up. It keeps the little filter tray in there, but lets the water come out, so you don't get all. I mean, it gets the fine particles. It's caught hair. It's caught because I wash my daughter's hair in the sink. Um, that's a black thing. I'm so sorry if some people were like, "Why are you washing your daughter's hair in the sink?" That's just a thing that we do. Granted, she is grown, but I like to still help her with her hair from time to time because she has a lot of it. But the hair, the food particles, all that stuff is stopped going down the drain if we don't have to worry about. Excuse me, I have to plug up my microphone. I just realized I don't have it plugged up, so it's gonna change in just a second, my audio. So hopefully you can hear me a little better. Um, but the whew, Jesus, excuse me. The stopper has been like a game changer, and I just posted a video about that, and then I became in the on-site commissions, and I didn't. Yeah, you're right. That's what I was talking about, the on-site commission. I didn't know anything about that until I looked into it and realized, oh my gosh, this is where the money is. This is in the on-site commissions. Um, you do have to look into that. Definitely look into that, because I didn't start making money because those are the ones that Amazon pushes out. Whereas if you're pushing out your Amazon links, some people will click on them. That's why hopefully on the call tomorrow for the creator call, you can get on the pillar, because I feel like people go through there. You can see how many people actually click in your Amazon link. They may or may not buy anything, but at least you can see this way how many people click on your link. Um, but with the Amazon on-site commissions, Amazon pushes that out. So I had 700 clicks on that product in the month of February. I mean, I only made in the month of February, I made like maybe I had like 16 sales or something like that. So that's something to consider too. So, um, hey sis, how are you? How are you? Thank you for joining. Um, I am. Uh, So I am in the midst of still trying to post more stuff on my Amazon storefront to definitely make sure I can maximize the money off of that. I have been a part of Amazon storefront, believe it or not, since it first really went large in 2021. I believe is when it really went large. I just didn't post on it. So I've had mine forever. So my link actually still says a trucking lady. That's just proof how long I've had it, when I was still driving trucks. And I wish I would have taken advantage of it then, because I think I would be, in a different place now. But it is what it is. Once again, if you see me checking my phone, if you're on TikTok, I am checking the comments because the comments do not flow over from Instagram and TikTok on this service that I'm using. I can only see YouTube's questions or comments. So if you're on YouTube, go ahead and just comment and I will answer your questions. If you have any questions on TikTok, please comment. And if you are on Instagram, please comment. Let's see. Next question that we've had is RV life cheaper than normal life? No, I'm not going to say it's cheaper. It's basically the mentality you have. When you say, we say experiences over things, memories over stuff like that. We are choosing to make memories versus accumulating more things. We had a house, and once we realized how much stuff we had, we were just like, we we don't even use half of the things that we had in our house, and we have a storage unit right now, and it's like, it's crazy about the amount of stuff that you accumulate. Even with me being on my truck, I didn't realize how much stuff I had accumulated. So we realized that we didn't need to, we kind of spend a little more money on doing things versus buying things. um, and we say that because we can't have a whole bunch in our RV. We have to be real careful about what we buy when it comes to the RV. Even though we're not mobile, when it comes time for us to get on the road, we're gonna have to get rid of stuff. You know what I mean? So you have to just be conscious on your purchases and everything like that. RV life can be cheaper. It can be expensive. Like I said, it's one of those things. Like I answered in the budget, it really depends on your way of living and how you do things. For us, it's a little bit cheaper, only because we aren't having, we're not, I'm not saying we're not going out as much, is that we're enjoying our local, like our own backyard, you want to say, versus being at home. We're like, oh, we're bored, let's go to the movies. Hey, we're bored, let's go do this. We actually enjoy just sitting outside by the fire or going for a nice walk, or it definitely gets you out and about. Um, Being in this RV community is a little bit different than when we've been at other campgrounds, because we don't get the same socialization as we typically would if we were at a regular campground. Um, so we don't really get to interact with other people like that here. I will say stationary people are a little bit more like living in a house where you're just kind of to yourself. Whereas being in a campground, we were going over to our other people's RVs and having like cookouts and live hibachis and doing stuff like that with my friend Kelsey when we were in Alabama with the traveling Borgmans. And then, so if you have a chance to follow them, follow them. They have a lot of content. They're on the West Coast right now. They have a son, and they just a young son, and they just travel all the time. And that's the point we want to get to. We just had to stay in Texas a little bit longer than planned because of my husband needing some medical appointments done before we could really travel again at the VA. So once we finish our next work camping contract, we're hoping to go to a school to start our own business and go from there. So, like I said, I'll discuss more of that once it's more into the work. So we haven't even started the process of going to school yet. So, thank you for the gift, sis. Appreciate it. Uh, so RV life is not necessarily cheaper. It's based off of how you want to live. It's based off of how you feel. RV life is, sorry, I just got distracted. So RV life is, I will say we do eat in our RV a lot more than we do go eating out. We try to only eat out maybe twice a month, and that's just because I don't know. Just I rather cook in my RV. We have the grill right here. We have the griddle on the RV, and then we can cook inside the RV. When we go shopping, I just meal plan. It's all about meal planning and stuff like that. So um, we, instead of going to the movies, we will have a movie night here. Or we'll have a game night here. We spend a lot of time together, and so we don't spend a lot of money going out. Even when we went to the RV show, it was free. Didn't cost anything besides the gas to get there. But we didn't. We try to do things that are free or are inexpensive if we do go do anything. We like to go. We're like big kids. We like to go to arcades and go on rides and stuff like that. We like still doing that type of stuff, and that's basically what our life consists of. So it's not too expensive. It's not, and it's also not on the cheap side. But we're not doing like spa treatments and all that stuff all the time. We might go to the get a massage like once every so often. But we don't spend an exorbitant amount of money out of the RV right now, especially because since we're not work camping, us having to pay for this spot here. I'm working full time, and with my husband, he has his retirement and everything. So we're trying to keep our budget cool and close together. So another question that we have gotten asked is, how long have we been doing RV life? We have been doing RV life. It's actually going to be 2 years at the end of this month. We don't have a I would say a short term plan or long term plan on how long we're going to do it. We're just going to do it until we just don't want to do it anymore. Like I mentioned in the live earlier, we still do have our house that we rent out in case we do ever have to go back. But we have been doing it now for 2 years, and we don't see us stopping anytime soon. We just upgraded our RV to a larger RV, our first RV. Oh goodness. It was. I mean, it was. We liked it at first, and then when we first moved into it. Sorry, my little Shih Tzu right here, Riri. She also has her own TikTok page. She does this anytime I'm on the camera. She wants attention, and I'm just like any other time she's not fooling with me, but now she wants to play, and she knocked over my phone. I'm glad I'm not on that phone anymore because it would be leaning to the side right now. But what was I saying? Oh, but we upgraded. So when we first moved into that RV, we went on, well, not moved. We took it on a camping trip, a short camping trip when we bought it. And we're like, oh, this is perfect. This is just the two of us. It did have like a little bunk area. It wasn't a bunk room. It was a bunk area because a bunk room has a door. I've been informed that it's the difference between a bunk room and a bunk house. We had a bunk room, and we was like, okay, so if the kids ever want to come, even though they were pretty much adults by then. You see what I'm saying? I'm sitting here talking, minding my business, and here she comes. She just got to be the center of attention. Um, she so excuse me. Um, so we realized, hey, this is gonna be perfect for us. Okay, cool. So we're living in it for about 3 4 months, and realized how small it was. It didn't have a slide. There was no bedroom door. It had just a curtain. And if you're solo, that works for a lot of people. And we tried it, and it worked for us for a while until it didn't. Whereas, because it's hard for both of us to watch TV, or if one person's watching TV, the other person's trying to sleep, one person has to wear headphones. It just got really difficult. So we realized we wanted to upgrade, and there was other things that we realized that we wanted. So after almost 2 years, we upgraded this RV in November. We had the other RV for a little over 2 years. We got the RV in August or September of 2022, and we started RV life in April of 2023. Um, So I will say this for any advice for people that are considering this lifestyle, make sure that you have the capacity to look at RVs. How can someone get an RV? Okay, thank you, Addie, for that question. I'm so sorry, I just saw it. Um, how do we make sure someone get an RV? Do you need excellent credit? No, they actually have a few places that you can finance an RV. You can look on Facebook Marketplace. A lot of people just pay cash and don't worry about having credit. If you want the newest, fanciest RV, unless you have like $70,000, $80,000 just sitting around, you might have to finance it, but you don't have to have good credit. I will say if you have fair to decent credit and a good, I know, let's just say this, if you had at least a 600 credit score and you have stable income, um, and if you want to buy an RV and you're financing, do not sell your house until you have secured your financing, because it's harder to get financing after it's harder to get financing after you have already moved out of your house. They want to see some type of uh, address, permanent address. So a lot of people do is they'll get their financing and then they'll sell their house. So they want to do this full time. Not This is not if you want to do part time. This is just for full time. But a lot of people will finance an RV. A lot of people will pay cash for an RV. They told us when we financed the first time, they want to see at least a 600 credit score, and like I said, they want to see some stable work history or some good stable income. So that's really what you need, and at least 15 to 20% down. Our first RV, we put 5K down on a 20. I think the RV at the time was 24,000. So we put 5K down, and this last time we put a little bit more down because we were a little upside down. We almost put, not to put too much out there, we put a little less than double down from our first one. Now, mind you, this RV was more expensive and it has more qualities to it, so it was worth it. That's why we went ahead and pulled the trigger, because we were going to wait. Um, Let me pin this question real quick so that way I can answer. Bear with me. All right, so uh, question 7 was basically, do you have to have excellent credit to get uh, finance? How, and also was how can someone get into an RV? So I'm going to once again touch on that some more. There are multiple ways that you could do it. Um, there are you can have um, you can have your money saved up really well and buy one. I've heard of people buying a nice RV for as low as $8,000 on Marketplace. Now, I will say this from working in an RV repair shop: get an RV inspector to inspect it. It's just like buying a house. You're not going to buy a house without getting an inspection. A lot of times, you can use any repairs or anything like that to either bring down the price or have the owner repair it for them to get the asking price. If it has water damage, if it needs a new window, if it needs new appliances, because there's other outside of the stove and the microwave and the refrigerator, just like a house, you have a water heater. You also have a furnace. You also have an air conditioner. You have so many different components in an RV that you want to make sure they all work. And so a certified RV inspector, granted, now it's not cheap, but it's worth the headache down the road. I wish we would have done that both times. We didn't. We knew better. Sometimes, but not. There's nothing really major wrong with our RV. It's small stuff, but I will say many times it can help save a headache down the road. Um, Especially if you're buying used. New does not necessarily mean it's not going to have its problems, but I will definitely say, um, if you're buying used, definitely get an RV that inspected. I will also say too, the only reason we even went used is because we wanted this specific floor plan that we have, and this is a new floor plan. This is not a standard floor plan of the older RVs. But we were looking at 2020s and 2021s, 2019s, a little bit older. You don't always have to get brand new. You can get older. You can get something that's not brand new, and you can always fix it up too. I've even seen people, if you're really handy, buying like old Amazon vans or U-Haul trucks and then fixing those up, or getting a storage trailer re and then getting a storage trailer and fixing that up. So those things are definitely something that you can consider and getting. um, and just do your research though. But go to RV shows, go to RV dealerships, look at different floor plans. Don't make the same mistake that we did and get stuck with an RV that you really, I mean, you might have loved in the beginning, but really sit down and figure out, is it really going to work? The biggest things that you have to consider is storage and space. So the more stuff you have, the more space you're going to not have. Um, the the thing is about downsizing and living small. So that means you cannot have a whole bunch of stuff. You have to make sure you live within your weight limits. That's if you're doing a drivable or a towable. They all have weight limits, and you cannot exceed that. Because it will cause frame damage. It will cause, if you have an accident and your RV is overweight, they can deny your claim. Um, One thing that we do like about RV life that we would never change is the fact that we're doing it and trying to remember the important things in life. And it's like I said, it's caused us to slow down, appreciate each other more, also appreciate the things that we have and not buying so much, realizing we don't need to spend a whole bunch of money on things and everything like that. It really has changed our perspective. It's given us a little bit more of a freedom type of freedom. I think that is now the new American dream. We heard a lot of people that in the RV community talk about the American dream is to own property and own something, whereas an RV still is property. It still is yours. You still have to take care of it. So you might not have a piece of land, but you do still have an asset, whether it's depreciating or appreciating. It's still an asset. I will say that I wish I would have done this RV life younger. I see a lot of younger people not going into debt, which is the best and most smartest thing to do. Not going into debt when they're not ready to buy a house. So what they're doing is, whether they're doing van life, doing car life. There's one girl I follow on YouTube. I cannot think of her name, but I see her videos from time to time, and she's literally saving her money so that she can buy her own land and build her house, and she's not being in any debt. She's using her car that she currently pays on to make a living and save money. She says in about 4 years she'll have enough money saved up to where she can buy her land and buy her house to be built without going into debt. Kids these days are so much smarter when it comes to debt than we were. If I tell all my kids all the time, if I was y'all's age, I would definitely not rush into buying a home. Figure out where you want to live at, because most times people buy homes in places they really don't even want to live at. Um, they just settle, especially if they're not from the area. They just kind of like an area and they're like, "Cool, let's buy a house here." They have no idea about the area. So I would definitely say uh, buying a house is something you want to take your time with. Get an RV, travel the country. Like, we are done raising kids. We're not grandparents, knock on some wood. So we're trying to enjoy traveling now. My husband is retired, so we're not waiting to our 60s to travel. We're trying to get it out the way now, especially with being able to do work camping or hopefully our own business or even a work from home job, you can travel and work from home. You can still do this RV style lifestyle. There are so many ways to 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 do this lifestyle. I want to see a lot more black people out here doing this. I really do. I wanted to not become such a stigma in our community of I'm not living in no RV or um, uh, black people don't do that. Like, why not? Why don't we? Um, there's actually a lot of people out in North Carolina. Get your doobie. Get your doobie. Get your doobie. Get it. Get it. And bring me a doobie. Yes, her little toy. Come here. If she would let me catch her. Free. Come here. She's a little fast. We call it a doobie because it looks like it's a cigarette for a dog. It's a squeaky toy, but it looks like a doobie. Okay, calm down. Um, I forgot what I was saying. She lost, made me lose track. But it's a community out in North Carolina. There's a lot of black RVers that like really just embrace this lifestyle, and I want us to get into a mindset that anybody that wants to try something different can do it. We have to stop being afraid and feeling like it's not for us or feeling like we can't do it. And I'm a part of a sisterhood called Rolling with My Sisters. Follow us on all social media platforms. We will also be going live on various platforms at the same time to talk about RV life. We have a solo RV, black RVer. We have a young couple that's a family RVer, and then you have the empty nester couple, which is us. And we're just all talking about being black women in the RV community space, finding more people that are like us that we can kind of you know talk to about, because this is not something that a lot of people in our community are uh, experienced with. I have nobody in my family outside of my brother's wife's family who has an RV. Um, I don't know anybody in my family that has ever had an RV or has an RV or even wants to have an RV. So this was a whole new thing. If I hadn't gone into trucking, I don't think I would have been exposed to it. And my husband definitely wasn't trying to do it. I'm the one that kind of brought it to him. So um, I'm gonna get ready to get off of here, but I hope you join in for the next Q&A where I'll answer questions that I get on my social media and share with you guys my answers. So, but until then, I will talk to y'all later, and thank y'all for tuning in.